What we learned on day 4 of the Undercover Policing Inquiry, Tranche 3, Phase 1. We heard from Sara, who was one of Croydon Hunt Sabs. While she was involved with the Hunt Saboteurs, she met someone who introduced themselves as James Straven. He was actually undercover police officer James Thomson. He also stole the identity of Kevin Crossland, a child who died aged 5 in 1966. Sara was involved with going out hunt sabbing, doing the map reading in the van. She was not as deeply involved in the group as James Thomson was. As well as doing hunt sabbing, they went on other animal rights protests, visiting Hillgrove Cat Farm, where afterwards James Thomson would go on the home visits to vivisectors. Sara didn't get involved in this, even though the reports by James Thomson claimed that she did. The reports also claimed that she had lots of different boyfriends that she didn't have. He was making her out to be a different kind of woman than she actually was. Before long, they were in a sexual relationship that lasted over a year. When it got to Christmas 1999, James Thomson disappeared for 2 weeks. They'd been in regular contact up until then. Sara was really distraught. She didn't know what was going on. She emailed him asking where he was, what was the matter. When he eventually did reappear, he delivered a letter to her that said that he'd been the victim of childhood sexual trauma, that his best friend had committed suicide after being raped by their headmaster at boarding school, that he himself had lost his virginity to another teacher, aged 35. He said that he couldn't continue the sexual relationship because of this. Sara found this very difficult. She immediately had compassion for him. She went from being really upset, confused and angry about his disappearance to comforting him. They continued their relationship without a sexual element for quite a while afterwards. Sara and James Thomson went on holiday together quite a few times. They went to France, they went to Goa in India. Even though they were no longer in a sexual relationship, they shared the same bedroom, they exchanged gifts. Everybody else thought they were still a couple. When Sara had accepted that the relationship was never going to go back onto a normal footing, she moved abroad. She thought that they would stay in touch, but found that he wasn't staying in contact. She found out that he was now in a sexual relationship with someone else, Ellie. She was shocked by this. She thought that their relationship had ended because he couldn't have that kind of relationship. She thought he was being fundamentally dishonest to Ellie and called him out as such, sent him an email. He never replied. She never heard from him again. The experience of being in a relationship with James Thomson had a profound effect on Sara. For 17 years, she was unaware that he was an undercover police officer. She was plagued by nightmares about him. She felt tremendous guilt about betraying the confidence of what was written in the letter by talking to her friends about it, something he expressly told her not to do. She felt that she betrayed him because after their sexual relationship had ended, she started a casual relationship with someone else. He had a go at her about this. He said that it was a betrayal. The reality was that he'd been emotionally manipulating her the whole time. She was only told that he was an undercover police officer in 2018 when it was revealed to her by the Undercover Policing Inquiry. We know from police records that they were fully aware that he was having inappropriate sexual relationships as early as 2002, when he was reprimanded for having unauthorised trips abroad and using his fake identity to illegally obtain driving licences and bank accounts. He was never reprimanded for his sexual relationships. James Thomson, they claimed that Sara was a threat to his deployment because she lived 2 streets away from his ex-wife and 3 children. The reality was that he started a relationship with her knowing that. He was already in a long-term relationship of his own. He knew that the relationship wouldn't last. She was unequivocal. If she'd known any of these things about him, particularly if she'd have known that he was an undercover police officer, she would have never had a sexual relationship with him. It was a very powerful and brave testimony by Sara. It can't have been easy. We'll be hearing from the other women who James Thomson deceived in the next couple of weeks before we hear from James Thomson himself. Tune in for that.